Hi, my name is John Kim, and I'm a therapist who went through his own rebirth. I share my feelings and revelations. I believe in casual over clinical and with you instead of at you. I come unrehearsed on purpose because self help doesn't have to be so complicated. So, this is one of the hardest things for me in this life. It's knowing when to pursue what you want with everything you have and when to let it go. Because I believe that the way the universe works, like if I look back at my life and I think about all the things that I wanted so bad, whether those things are, whether it's a deal or a person or a relationship to work or whatever it is, when you want something so bad, it usually never works out. It almost feels like you are pushing a round peg into a square hole. And when I look back and look at all the great things that have happened in my life, I mean, things that really changed my life, they happened seamlessly, and they're things that kind of came out of the blue. It's like that saying that when you're dating, if you're trying to find someone, you never do, but when you're not looking, they come. And I really believe there's truth to that. I think the science behind that is it has to do with our magnets changing or flipping because of desperation, right? I really believe in like our negative state, our um, when you want something so bad that you become desperate, that you become willing to exchange integrity, who you are. When you're willing to give anything for that dangling carrot, for the gold at the end of the rainbow, I think it makes you lukewarm. I think it makes you it changes your energy, your state, and then I think that is what repels what you want. And I know that's a little bit kind of like my attract versus that's where my attract versus chase concepts came from. And so then the question is this, because we are meant to go after what we want, right? I mean, that's what makes us amazing, powerful beings is that we have a desire and then we have a vision, right? We get obsessed with that vision. Then we put hard work, and action steps, of course. We start building. And then one day the idea is now a reality, right? It's like you can now walk into your vision. And I think that is one of the greatest things about life, that process of actually giving birth to an idea, whatever that idea is, right? It doesn't matter if it's an idea for a book or a company, or a marriage or whatever. And then getting obsessed with wanting that for yourself, what that looks like, running toward that, building that, and then one day realizing that you are there, that it is part of your life. Um, Everyone should have that experience and it should be ongoing. But one of the things I struggle with is because I have more ideas than I can ever pursue. Um, Allowing my want, my desire. I work with a lot of people who are single, frustrated with the dating landscape because they haven't found their one or love or whatever they're looking for, and I could literally see their change in their demeanor, their state, them getting depressed, them feeling hopelessness. Right, it's almost like a slow leak of a tire where instead of rolling fast, you start to notice it wobbling, right? And it loses its momentum. And one of the things that I struggle with is just that. It's and usually it's really not with like people and relationships, more with projects. As a writer, as an artist, someone who is all visual, getting obsessed with these creations, and then these creations being um, not up to you, meaning you can only take the ball so far, and then it's up to other people. It's up to things, excuse me, beyond your control for that vision to happen. And then, of course, you then get depressed. And so, one of the things that I've been really working on is this idea of letting it go, meaning want it. It's okay to want it, whatever you want for yourself. Feed it, grow it, get obsessed with it, build it as much as you can, and then there's this final piece, and this is what we don't do, is to kind of let it go. After you've done everything you could.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. Listen, make 2020 a year where you can explore new skills, deepening existing passions, and get lost in creativity. I talk a lot about creativity and the power of creativity and how that mindset opens you wide for amazing things to happen. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. So much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives. I've used Skillshare to learn how to podcast better. I've used Skillshare to learn how to blog better. I've used Skillshare to execute structure in my content. I'm going to right now give you 2 months free. Just go to Skillshare.com/angry. Skillshare.com/angry for 2 months of Skillshare absolutely for free. This is a year that you can exercise your creativity muscles. You have absolutely no more excuses. Go check out Skillshare. Let it go and give it to the universe. Give it to God, the aliens, whatever you believe in. And I think that when you are able to do that, and I think that's a skill, I think it's hard, then it comes back in a way that you didn't expect, right? It might not be exactly what you wanted, but you feel it in your body one day when you wake up and you realize that you're there or that it's there, that you are now in a healthy relationship or you have built a company or what you created is now something you could hold in your hand or, whatever it is, whatever uh, it is that you want. So how do we know? How do we know when to let go, whether you are chasing after a person, a certain type of love, especially today in our world of social media and a lot of shiny things and people not communicating. There's a lot of people getting hurt because they're being ghosted on. There's a lot of false advertising. There's a lot of catfishing. So there's a lot of people falling off of cliffs and getting hurt. And sometimes that only makes us want it more because we tie our worth to it, and now we don't even want it, but we go after it more because if we can get it, then it means that we have value or that we're lovable or that we matter, so I think the first step is getting very honest with, do you even want this, right? Is it still your truth? And maybe you wanted it a year ago, whatever it is that you are wanting these days that is bringing you anxiety because you don't have. Maybe you wanted it 3 years ago. Maybe you wanted it last week. Do you still want it today? And you got to be honest with yourself because I think a lot of times our wants, our residue, our wants, our desire of things and whatever that is, doesn't stem from our truth, but stems from what other people want for us, or it stems from our parents wanting that for us because then it means that we are successful or happy or whatever, and we've taken on other people's definitions. Or it could be that they were your old wants when before you went through the tunnel, before you went through your journey, and it's not honest to you anymore. And if you don't sit with yourself and really do a self inventory and ask yourself, are these things still things that you want? You're going to be on autopilot and you're going to subconsciously try to keep building something that you may not even want. So that's, I think, step one. Step two, if you do want it, yes, go after it. Absolutely. Especially today where there's no ceiling, anything's possible. The world is changing, you can do anything, and I really believe that. You can disrupt your industry. You can create, your own business, your own company. You could execute ideas. There's no wall anymore, right? So yes, of course, go after it. Do it in a way that's honest to you. Work hard for it. I believe in all of that. But if it gets to the point where you start to become desperate, if it gets to the point where what you want starts to have power over you, and I think this is the deciding factor, right? Well, how do you know? When I was a screenwriter 10 years ago, what I wanted so bad was to sell the big screenplays for a lot of money so I could buy the house in the hills and all that, live that LA life. I wanted the three picture deal. I wanted acceptance from the entertainment business. I wanted the ticket into the quad, right? And at that point, if someone dangled something in front of me, um, that my desperation was so uh, strong, it reeked so much that I would have, I didn't have a stance. Like I would have given anything for that. And so if you want something so bad that you're willing to now exchange your truth, your integrity, who you are, if you're willing to hurt people, if you're willing to compromise your vision or self, then the magnet flips. Then I think that the desperation, which is ultimately a very low frequency, right? I think that then repels what you want, and I think that's what you need to sit with. Do I want this thing that I'm going after, whether it's an idea of what you think happy looks like, or a car, or the corner office, or a person? I don't know. This thing that you want right now, is it now taking away from your truth? Is it taking away from who you are? Are you so desperate for this? Are you putting so much weight on this that if it doesn't happen, then your life is shit? Or that it's like, are you putting all your chips on this one thing? Um, and if you are, I think it's dangerous. And if you are, I think you're repelling it. And so then the exercise would be to, like the title of this episode, don't want it that bad. And I know it sounds that's easier said than done. And it's not about rejecting your dreams and goals. It's about letting go. It's about acceptance. It's about knowing that you were able to carry the ball as far as you could, um, and start putting weight on different things. Your life isn't just one thing. Your life has layers, and there's many areas of life that makes you a whole, complete person, and that makes your life whole and complete. So don't just put all your chips on one thing, whether it's relationships or career or whatever it is, or the degree or the things. And then if that doesn't happen, then you're a piece of shit. Or if that doesn't happen, then you have failed. That is no way to live your life, and that is going to only make you desperate and push things away. Thank you for listening. Be well. Hey, if you have a passion to help others and want to become a life coach, or you just want to acquire tools to change your own life, learn more about our Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive. We are an evidence-based training program with an amazing, authentic, vibrant community, and we give lifetime support. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, and click on Life Coach Training. Hey, before you go, if you like my ramblings and revelations and shares, I am now texting people directly to their phone. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, if you want to subscribe. I'll be doing weekly text, 5 days a week, reminders, and also mindsets and exercises and challenges. And every week there will be a different theme, a different topic. So I hope to see you in your phone. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, I hope you help me spread the dialogue and help other people by sharing it. You never know what people need to hear. So if it's helped you, I hope you can help me help others.